Ross Tucker, former NFL lineman, will join us a little bit later on. But our good buddy Nick Wright, on loan from First Things First, co-host on Fox Sports 1, joins us on the program. You want to go NFL or you want to go NBA? Start out.
Let's go talk about your show, then NBA, then NFL. Because I have a beef here, Dan. And I hate to, you know what I mean, bring dirty laundry on the show. But how long have I been coming on this show now? 3 years, 2.5 years, something like that, thereabouts?
Yeah.
That entire time, I have been hosting First Things First.
Yep.
And First Things First has ended at 9:30 every day we've ever done it. And I hate to do this, but at some point, a man's got enough pride and is insulted. Todd Fritz, who's the best guest booker in the world, for the 7th time, 7 times when he invited me on the show, said, hey, would love to have you on the show. Here are the times that work. And he keeps offering 9:20.
Oh, boy.
And I got to say, it makes me think Todd Fritz is not a First Things First viewer. It makes me think maybe he's not a fan of mine. Maybe he doesn't even like me. So finally I'd had enough, and I sent him a text back. I was like, buddy, the show ends at 9:30. You're insulting me. You insult me a little bit here.
Okay.
So what are we going to do about this?
Do you want me to fire Todd right now?
Unpaid suspension 1 week.
How about no meat Friday for Todd today?
Wow.
I think
Let him choose. Let him choose. Would he rather have no money for a week or no meat today?
Todd?
I could use the paycheck with a kid in college and another one about to go to college. So I should probably.
Okay. Do you know that Nick Wright has another job?
I am aware of that, and all I can do is sincerely apologize. And it has been multiple times where he's brought that to my attention, and I went through the stop sign and forgot.
But how many times? He's
I
told
get
you
a lot of time.
I know. I get caught up in my little world with my notebook and the phone numbers and names and Rolodex, and I keep forgetting for some reason that he can't possibly
What
do
a
it.
shocker. You tell Todd something and he forgets it.
Here's the thing. At first, I thought he knew and just thought, well, let's be honest. Where are you going to get more juice, Nick? Your own show, or leave it early and join, one of America's leading broadcasters. I thought it was like an insult. Like, come on, will they even know who's going to notice if you're not there?
Wow.
And then I realized the guy just doesn't understand. The show ends at 9:30. So at 9:20, I've even texted him. I'm like, Todd, I can do 9:32. Like, because I'm at home. I can get the Zoom ready during our last commercial break and then just pivot this way. And he's like, no, we can't do that. How about 9:20? I'm like, Jesus, man.
Very, very insensitive by me. I have no excuse.
Todd, no meat Friday today.
Wow.
I didn't expect it to go that far. I will admit.
What, Seton?
I was just going to say to Nick, welcome to life with Todd Fritz.
Yeah.
This is repeatedly asking him to not do something, and then over the last 15 years, him doing it over and over and over again. This is what I guarantee you within the next month, you get an offer to be on at 9:20. I guarantee
That
it.
could happen.
Well, now I feel badly. Now I feel like we're piling on the guy, and I didn't mean for that to happen.
Oh, you're not
And
the
he's
first
being
guest to tell me.
deprived of
Nick,
nutrition.
you're not the first guest to say this to me. Bill Murray said this to me many years ago. He goes, I'll come on your show. Do not have that Fritzy guy call me anymore. Okay? That's why Bill Murray went into hiding, because Todd would reach out, and then Bill finally said,
Oh, he's a bulldog. He is relentless.
Yeah.
And that's why I said he's the best in the business. I've done radio where usually, and now I've never done it on your level, obviously, but guest bookers, I mean, they're playing Quirtle during the show. There's a lot going on. They're not that intrigued. Todd's dedicated. He's just, the dude from Memento, evidently.
he's going to have to tattoo things.
Yeah.
Remind him that Nick Wright works till 9:30 Eastern.
Things first, 9:30 a.m. Eastern.
I like how Todd expects you to change, Nick. He's not changing. You need to change your hours on First Things
I
First.
think every once in a while, maybe he can get out at 9:15.
Hey, Jenna, can I get out at like 9:20? I'm going to go on the Dan Patrick Show.
Can I tell you something? True story, and then we can talk sports. I apologize.
Okay.
The first time he invited me on, it was 9:20, and that I didn't, whatever. It was our first time. I was so excited that I was invited on. I was trying to figure out how I could do it. I was like, this is my one shot to go on Dan Patrick's show. Like, how can I make can we tape the final segment ahead of time? How can we make this happen? Then I just realized it's just going to be the regular, lock Nick in 9:20 on Thursdays.
All right. Let me start with the 76ers. James Harden, Doc Rivers, Joel Embiid's post-game comments. I know we could talk about the Miami Heat and they're advancing, but today is about the Sixers.
Yep.
Where do we start with the fingers of blame here in Philadelphia?
Well, listen, Harden's the same draft class as Steph Curry, DeMar DeRozan, Drew Holiday. All those guys are amazing still. Now, also same draft class as Blake Griffin. Blake's done, but Blake suffered a bunch of injuries. Harden just all of a sudden being bad is shocking. Him being bad in the playoffs is not shocking, but him refusing to shoot is shocking. Doc's got a bit of an honesty problem. When he's like, when I got here, no one thought we would be. You had the 8th best odds to win the title when you got there. You got there a year ago. But here's something that I think will blow your mind, Dan, because maybe we should be pointing the fingers at ourselves for believing in the Sixers. I think this will shock you. The Philadelphia 76ers have made the conference finals once since Dr. J retired. Think about that. That's the least in basketball, tied with the Grizzlies, who didn't exist that whole time,
Kings.
The Timberwolves, who didn't exist that whole time, Kings and Clippers.
Yeah.
Kings, Clippers, sad sack franchises, and then 2 expansion teams, and the Sixers. The team, like the Knicks were this great team of the 70s that lived off that rep. The Sixers are this amazing team of late 70s, early 80s, plus the Wilt years lived off the rep. But the Knicks have been way more successful the last quarter century. They've been to 2 NBA finals in the same time the Sixers have been to 1 conference finals. So maybe we're just overrating them. I don't know. I couldn't believe that when I looked that up this morning.
But I just
conference finals.
I don't understand what James Harden's. There's no strategy. I can't go, this is why he's doing what he's doing at this time of the season. And is he happy? Was he happy with Doc Rivers?
So, listen, someone, and I don't want to misquote him because I don't remember exactly who it was. I heard someone speculate on television that Harden was dogging it to get Doc fired so D'Antoni would come in. That's like a wildly crazy accusation. You're just going to dog a potential championship run. You got maybe the league MVP. You forced your way out of Houston. I understood it. The team couldn't compete anymore. Forced your way out of Brooklyn. I understand it. Kyrie's a pain in the ass. Fine. But all to get to Philly. So I think that's too much of an accusation to make. With that said, there's no explanation. It's one thing to be bad. It's another thing to refuse to shoot. Guy wouldn't shoot.
Yeah.
Like literally wouldn't go down shooting. It's puzzling to me. It's puzzling to me.
If you could have one of the 3, you could have Harden now, Kyrie now, Russell Westbrook now.
Oh God.
You got to take one.
Oh God. I'll answer that at 9:20. No,
Wow.
The answer is Kyrie.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. The answer, Kyrie's the best player right now of them.
Sure.
Now I don't really love signing up for all the rest of it, but Kyrie, at least when he plays, is still fantastic. Russ is at this point a net negative, and Harden is puzzling. Harden's first 2 games with the Sixers, he was unbelievable. Go look at what Harden did the final 3 games of the Celtics series from last postseason. That's 11 months ago. He was like 33, 8, and 9 average in the playoffs. But and now if he gets 25 points, the broadcasts are like, oh, a throwback game for James Harden. Like he's Phil Mickelson at the Masters a couple of years ago. Like, oh, a throwback performance. It's 32. It's baffling.
But it sounded like Doc Rivers was like, all right, you want to fire me? Fire me. I'll get another job. He didn't seem too concerned and didn't take much blame that they flame out again.
He's not a big blame guy. He doesn't. Doc doesn't appear to be a big look in the mirror guy. But he's just I understand if the general point was, if I were Doc, I'd have said this. Listen, if I'd have told you going into this postseason, we were going to lose to the 1 seed, and in that series, we wouldn't have Embiid for 2 of the games, and try as he might, he's clearly not 100%. He could have been out the whole series. Like, that's what happens. I think Doc should have played that card. Our best player on our team missed a third of the series and was clearly physically compromised. He did his damnedest, but that was the difference. Instead, he got real standoffish. You know what I mean? And so I don't know.
We're talking to Nick Wright, First Things First, co-host on Fox Sports 1, and his show lasts until 9:30 Eastern, Monday through Friday. Todd.
9:30.
Yeah, 9:30.
He couldn't possibly join us at 9:20 if he's doing the show till 9:30.
Do you guarantee that you will not do that again?
I will guarantee, because I now put it in bold in my notebook with red marker.
If you do, you must grow facial hair and have a hairstyle like Nick Wright as a tribute to him, a shout out.
Can I make a request?
Sure, absolutely.
If he does, he has to start also booking my guests, because you guys crush us on that front. Let me be honest.
Yeah.
Well, you got to get once a week. I need a Dan Patrick caliber guest on First Things First.
Okay, all right.
That seems very reasonable.
Seems fair. Chiefs are the first team in NFL history to start the season with 8 straight games against teams that had a winning record in the previous season.
Yeah.
Just a coincidence there, or do you think the NFL has it out for your Kansas City Chiefs?
Well, no. I mean, they only have, I think, of their 17 opponents, like 14 of them had a winning well, no. 12 of them, I think, had a winning record, and then 2 of the ones that didn't are the Broncos, who now have Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
You know, they have the Texans, they have the Jags, they have the Seahawks. Other than that, it's just gauntlet of games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just how it drew this year. I love how the year ends. I think the Chiefs will be the final 6 games of the year. I think the Chiefs are going to win. I think they're going to be 12-5, enter the playoffs on 6-game winning streak, red hot.
Could you see a team not winning the division in the AFC West, but winning the Super Bowl?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I think the Chiefs or the Chargers, one of them's not going to win the division, and either can win the Super Bowl. I don't believe in the Broncos.
What about the Raiders?
Flatly. No, come on. I'm very happy for the Raiders that they got Devontae Adams, and they're going to go from the 3rd best team, or I guess some would argue the 2nd best team in the division last year because they made the playoffs. They're going to be the worst team in the division. No. Congrats. You trade for Devontae Adams, and then you extend Derek
Wait, you
Carr.
think
That's
the Raiders will be the worst team?
Yeah, of course. Who else would be?
Denver.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe you believe in Russell Wilson even less than I do. I don't believe in them as a Super Bowl contender, but I do think they'll win 8 or 9 games. I don't think the Raiders are very good. I think the Raiders last year all smoke and mirrors, my friend, and I don't trust Derek Carr.
Who is this year's Bengals? Last year's Bengals?
No, I got you. Oh, what a great question. So a team that's got a guy that's hard, man. I didn't expect that question. I apologize. I'd love to say the Dolphins, but I can't because of Tua. I just can't. Nobody else in the AFC North would be considered the Bengals. You know what I mean? Like, no one's shocked if the Ravens show up. So would you be shocked if the Niners do it with Trey Lance? Can we go Niners? That's probably not an answer.
No.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't have an answer.
They're still a good team. How about the Colts?
So I was thinking them. I didn't know if that they would qualify. That when I was doing the Chiefs schedule, I have the Colts penciled in as a loss. I think the Colts, all they needed was a quarterback that wasn't going to kneecap them. Now they have it. Yeah, I think the Colts are dangerous. I like their coach. Everyone likes both lines. I don't know if they have enough receivers, but yes, I think the Colts are. I think the Colts are going to win that division. Does that count? I think they're going to be better than the Titans. I'd be real worried about Derrick Henry. Like at some point, the usage has to wear him down, even though he's superhuman.
I was also curious about the Cleveland Browns and how many games would be in prime time. I think they have one in week 2 or week 3 against the Steelers. But the NFL, when you're putting out this schedule, what do you say to the commissioner or vice versa without a paper trail to say, hey, we want to feature the Browns with Deshaun Watson? is he going to be eligible to play? Are you going to suspend him? I'm guessing he's going to be hard to suspend, Nick. If there's nothing going on right now.
Oh, I thought I'm going the other way. I think the NFL might be looking at what happened to Trevor Bauer and saying, we need to suspend him a long time. I think that's one of the low-key reasons the Browns maybe haven't moved on from Baker. Is what if Deshaun is suspended for 10 games?
Oh, I agree. I agree keeping Baker makes sense, but not if Baker thinks that they actually tried to make him look bad against the Steelers. I mean, that's another layer to this, that Baker's just going to say, I'm not going to play for you. You know, then you have Jacoby Brissett as your backup quarterback to Deshaun Watson. But I'm wondering if they suspend him or they wait until there's some kind of completion to this investigation.
I don't know. I think they have to suspend him. And listen, I am a guy you want on your jury if you are accused of a single crime. My burden of proof for reasonable doubt, what I need for reasonable doubt is you say you didn't do it? I mean, that's pretty reasonable to believe. But as soon as multiple people accuse you of the same thing independently, I'm almost certain you're guilty. So maybe that's unfair, but it is impossible for me to believe that Deshaun Watson is the victim of some grand multi-state 24-person conspiracy. So I think he's going to get suspended. I think he is.
I mentioned this to start the show when we look at the schedule release, that we confuse storylines with good games. Seahawks against the Broncos.
Broncos is a terrible game.
Yes, it's a great storyline, but I don't know. The game feels like it's going to be 18-11.
Well, here's what I do know. Why would you intentionally feature Drew Lock in anything as part of your premier product? That's insane. Like if all of a sudden that's where Baker is, then that is more intriguing. Yeah. Russell's first game with Denver, Baker in Seattle, then it's intriguing. But I totally agree with you. This is also a problem. Young talk show hosts out there can take a lesson from, two veterans of the industry, one of the greatest to ever do it, also Dan Patrick. So there is a massive difference between something being a great moment and a great topic. Guy throws a perfect game. That's a great moment. It's impossible to talk about. You know what I mean? So this is the scheduled version of that. Russ's return to Seattle it's the opposite. It's a great topic. It's not going to be a great moment. It's going to be a 3-hour crummy football game.
That's a hot take. You can hear the fire department going by.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
I hire a fire department to drive up and down behind me just for hot takes.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, how about that? Speaking of hot takes, I thought you were going to ask me about this, and I know we're late, but I need to say this. Am I going to get, you're going to mention the fact I'm the one person in America who said the Mavs are going to win this series, they're going to win this series, and also the fact that Devin Booker is playing a dangerous game. Devin Booker and Chris Paul mocked Luka Doncic after game 2. Little smirks at the press conference. Oh, we're not worried about Luka. Chris Paul was asked about Luka after game 1. He's like, what about Theo Pinson? They got a lot of great players. Devin Booker then does a flop and gets caught on camera calling it the Luka special. Yesterday, Luka had more points, rebounds, assists than those two guys combined. They had 13 turnovers. He's going to go in their building on Sunday and beat them because Luka's the second best player in basketball already. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh boy, Sun's going to get back here anytime soon. I don't think so. I don't like Devin Booker. I've turned on him. I don't like the way he's mocking Luka. Not good for him. And watch the video if you haven't seen it, Dan. Late in the game, when Jay Crowder grabs Frankie Ntilikina, throws him into Chris Paul like a scheduled flop play they have, and Chris starts falling, they got the foul call. But Chris then starts grabbing his hand. The trainers look at his hand. Just like the basketball gods smited Marcus Smart for the flop with 4 minutes left against the Bucks. Then all of a sudden he can't do anything. The basketball gods might have smited Chris Paul. A little flop late in that game. Mavs going to the finals. Told you 2 months ago.
Okay.
I just forced that into the show. Sorry.
No, you did. But, it's kind of hard to compliment you when, both hands are patting yourself on the back. I mean...
Well, yeah, of course. Somebody has to. I mean, I got to get credit.
Why
The
are you
NBA
so
won't give me a
needy?
vote.
Why are you so needy?
You know, it's a good question, Dan. But I think, I'm someone that's always been an underdog, always been disrespected. I come on this show. You guys don't even know what time my show is. And I try to at times, remind America that the only person who was right about the Clippers 2 years ago and the only person who was right about the Nets back-to-back years is going to be the only person who called the Mavs going to the finals 6 weeks ago. It's your buddy, Nick Wright, host of the What's Right with Nick Wright podcast, which you can subscribe to on iTunes and on YouTube.
I'm going to bet you dinner. Dallas and Phoenix.
You already owe me dinner. So it's going to be 2 dinners.
Well, I don't know if I owe you dinner. You chose to pick up the tab when I was going to, and I thought that you should, for a legend, you're going to buy it in the respect and, the advice I gave you. I mean, you should do that. You
know what, Dan? I don't say this often. You're right. So, yeah, that's fine.
How about we do dinner? We'll do dinner.
Do dinner.
And I'll take Phoenix just to be an antagonist here with you.
That's fine. We doing any odds, any points, or just straight up?
No, straight up.
No problem. Deal. I was going to give you odds.
No,
actually,
I don't need it. No, I don't need it. What odds do I need? It's either Phoenix wins or Dallas wins.
You could have gotten 2 dinners. Could have been a 2-to-1 dinner special.
There's many more dinners for me.
Oh.
All of the different. Max Kellerman wants to buy me dinner now. I mean, there's a lot of people out there. Colin Cowherd.
A lot of people on the streets in New York see me and they're like, "You're the guy from Sports TV," and I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Max." I'm like, God damn it. That happens to me a lot, bro.
Fritzy will give you a call next week around 9:20.
I was looking at Monday or Wednesday at 9:15.
Okay. All right. See you guys.
Thank
Love
you,
guys.
Nick. That's Nick Wright. First things first. We're back after this.